aware of the techniques and consciously aware of how you have to think and how you have to apply these procedures. For those who are here, you're all going to get these CDs. And so for everyone listening to the CDs and the people that are here, the first thing you need to do is listen to these CDs over and over and over again, virtually every day. Listen to some of the CDs. If you're in your car, listen to the CDs. Listen to them over and over again. And you're going to be doing some other things I'm going to be sharing with you. But there's going to be a series of steps that you can be doing that will cause you to focus on these techniques. That will cause you to be thinking the right thoughts. And by law of attraction, when you're thinking the right thoughts, that process of thinking, remember, when you think, whatever you think about, your brain is then transmitting a frequency. Every thought that you have is your brain transmitting a frequency. So every time you think a thought, your brain transmits a frequency. The more intensity that you put into that thought and the more power you put into that thought, and let's define what is intensity and what is power. It is when that thought is large, when there's a lot of emotion attached to that thought. Now, if that emotion is hate, anger, or if that emotion is excitement, thrill, whether it's a good emotion or a bad emotion, the more emotion that's attached to the thought, that is what is increasing power and increasing intensity. The longer you think about it, that is the duration. But every time you think a thought, it puts out a vibration. Your brain is transmitting a vibration. And every time your brain transmits a vibration, it is attracting first other like-minded thoughts. So the more you listen to these CDs, and I'm going to give you a whole list of things to do, you're going to start attracting the right thoughts, and then your positive ball of energy is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So you will see yourself. Now that you know, remember, you don't know what you don't know? Well, now you're consciously competent. So now you're going to see yourself thinking the wrong thought. How do you know when you're thinking the wrong thought? Answer, based on how you feel. That's why I said earlier that the first most important thing, the only thing you do to make this super stupidly simple, is every day monitor how you feel. If you feel good, your objective is to feel better. If you feel bad, to whatever degree, that could be on the low end of the scale, complete depression where you're suicidal, or just bored, or unsure, afraid, feeling grief, anger, hate, any negative emotion. Whenever time you feel that, that is telling you you are thinking the wrong thought. And just catch yourself whenever you feel bad. And the procedure then is, okay, I feel bad. How do I feel better? I'm going to teach you how to do that. So your goal is always feel better. So I'm going to teach you how to do that. So what we talked about is the basic procedure on getting what you want is first define what you want. You can be specific, general, or just feeling good. You must have a burning desire for what you want, which is high intensity and high power. That means high emotion, high expectation, real excitement, get your juices flowing, be on fire about it, really have an obsession about it. When you do that, when you have what you want and you're obsessed with it and desire it and are excited about it and have anticipation about it and feel good about it when you think about it, then you think about it for a long period of time. That means you're going to be thinking about it all throughout the day with excitement every time you think about it, not feeling bad. If you're feeling bad, that means you're doubting. If you're feeling good, that means you're believing. And you must have belief. And that's the key to getting what you want, and then it will come in. The key element here is once you define what you want, when you think about what you want, how do you feel? You want to increase the feeling to complete excitement, exhilaration, and you ideally want to get to the point of complete expectation. The feeling when you think about what you want.
All right, guys. Grand Rising. Happy Monday. How is everybody feeling on this beautiful Monday morning, March 16th? If everybody can hear me, see me good, can I just get a 111 in the chat if everybody can hear me, see me good? Just want to make sure on your end, guys, that everything is good. I feel good. Stream looks good. Instagram looks good. Everybody's locked in with me. Amazing. Welcome, Mikey. Tay, what's up, sis? Natasha, I see you. Eugene, Kings don't eat with peasants. What's up, my brother D French, John, Ricardo, Katia, Courtney, I see you. Who else? We have everybody locked in here today. What's up? Well, thank you guys so much for hopping on this morning's call. I'm very blessed and honored to be on this call every morning that I get a chance to do these. Is always a pleasure for me. If anybody's new, welcome to Mornings with Nano YouTube and Instagram edition. I run these calls every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays for absolutely free for the whole entire community. Anybody's welcome. I usually go live on YouTube and on Instagram. We have hundreds of people that watch these calls live and people that also watch the recordings after work. These are calls I've been doing now for going on 7 years in June. So I'm very blessed that I get a chance to do these amazing calls on a weekly basis. We've impacted at this point thousands, maybe who knows, even millions of people in the last 7 years, sharing value, wisdom, leadership, biblical topics, everything from just mindset strategies to different ways to grow and become better versions of yourselves. They are shared here. On top of that, I also host a private inner circle on Tuesdays and Thursdays where we do private sessions on Zoom. They're more private coaching. We go over paradigms, self-image, business master classes. We invite special guest speakers who are 7- and 8-figure earners to come basically pour into the family. We also have a private Telegram chat where we constantly communicate. We grow together. You get access to private events, workshops, retreats, private drops that happen, and just so much more. So if that's something that you're interested in, you could DM me Inner Circle and we could get you guys plugged in. But with that being said, I'm excited. It's Monday, March 16th. I want to update you guys on a couple of things before I do get started with today's session. Number one is I no longer am going to be going to any more Dominican baseball games. As you guys may have known, or if you didn't know, the last, I would say 2 weeks, I was at a lot of Dominican baseball games. For those that don't know, the World Baseball Classic was in Miami, out of all places. And for me, being, as you guys can see, a fanatic about baseball, I grew up playing baseball. I have baseballs all over my office. If you ever come to my office, you will know that baseball was like my first love, my first passion. And being that Dominican Republic was in Miami, which is where I live, and the stadium is 25 minutes from me, and the tickets were super cheap, I was able to go to every single baseball game. I think I went to 6 baseball games, and it was insane because I got a chance to watch all my favorite baseball players in one day at all times. And it was absolutely amazing to be able to support my team after all these years, and to watch them lose yesterday was truly heartbreaking the way we lost. But I just want to let you guys know I won't be going to any more baseball games. As bittersweet as it is, I wanted them to win the championship, but I'm not going to be able to watch them win a championship this time around. But I will see them in the Olympics in 2 years. So no more baseball games with me. I know that I was a little bit just so locked in with that. It was something that I was excited about. So it was a great time. Definitely a core memory. So I want to let you guys know about that. Another thing I want to let you guys know is I'm going to be headed on tour. All right. I'm going on tour for 2 weeks. So just want to let you guys know here really quick so you guys can see this. I know that the community always kind of knows about everything, but I like to give people updates on what's going to be happening in my life, just so that you guys are aware. This is my tour that I'm going to be heading on. It's called the Eurostep Tour. The Eurostep Tour, where visionaries gather and leaders rise. It starts at the top right of the flyer, as you guys can see right there, and then it goes left all the way down. So if you see on the top right, March 18th, that starts on this Wednesday. My tour officially starts Wednesday, but I fly out tomorrow night. Tuesday, tomorrow night, I fly out to Paris. I take the red eye tomorrow night. I land in Paris Wednesday morning, the 18th. I'm in Paris 2 days for an event that I'm going to be doing over there. Then from there, I fly over to actually Albania, and then I drive over to stay in North Macedonia for 2 days with my brother Drillin. We are in North Macedonia for 2 days. Then on the 22nd, we go over to Pristina, Kosovo, which is a country I've never been to. These are all countries I've never been to, by the way. I've been to Paris many times, though. Paris is not a first time. For me, this Paris is like 7 or 8 times. But North Macedonia is the first one. Pristina, Kosovo is a new one as well. We're going to go check out Ulcinj, Montenegro. I think we have a day break, and Montenegro is one of those beautiful countries right on the coast. We're going to go visit there. And then from there, we finish up an event in Tirana, Albania, which is basically the capital of Albania there. So we're going to be headed there for 2 days. And then we also have a retreat that's happening for our leaders, top leaders that are making 6 figures in the company. My mentor, Matt Rose, is doing a retreat for us in Courchevel, France, which is kind of like one of those ski towns in France. So I'm excited about that. Then I come home for 2 weeks at the end of March. And then I'm home from like April 1st to like April 15th. And then I go out to Lisbon for another basically 2 weeks, because then I'm out in Lisbon for a company convention. Then we have another leadership retreat. And then I'm going to be going out to Madeira for a vacation as well, which I'm very excited for like 3 or 4 days. So I'm going to be Euro stepping for the next couple of months. So, and I wouldn't say the next couple of, you could say couple months, because March and April, I'm going to be all over Europe. So just a heads up, everything is still going to continue. Calls are going to continue. It's just keep a heads up, because sometimes when I'm on the road, some things tend to change. Times tend to change. Inner Circle is going to be locked in no matter what. These Monday, Wednesday, Friday calls, they may switch up a little bit. So I'll keep you guys updated. Just make sure that you guys are either if you go to my Instagram, in my bio, I have a Nanos Kisa Success chat there. It's a mentorship chat. I'm going to drop all, I'm going to drop all updates there. And then I usually drop all the updates in my Telegram chat as well. So if you guys want to stay up to date on what's going to be happening over the next 2 weeks and what calls are going to be going on and off, I'll keep you guys updated in there. If you're in the Inner Circle, just a heads up, all Inner Circle calls will continue unless I have to change anything or change the times. The good thing is that while I'm out in Europe, everything is even better for me because it's the afternoon, right? So like when I'm out in Europe, like for example, my calls now at 10 a.m., it'll be 2 p.m. over there for me, which is usually a good time because that's usually a time that people are having lunch. There's no real events happening at this time, so we'll be good to go. So yeah, guys, just wanted to update you guys. Your boy is headed on the road. I'm very excited. I'm blessed I get a chance to do this. One of my dreams growing up was to travel the world, and the fact that I get a chance to travel the world and build my business and build my community and create experiences is a dream come true for me. This tour is going to allow me to now reach a goal of mine that I had for this year, which was to travel to 30 countries, right? I'm at like 27 countries. collectively as a collective. So these 3 new countries I'm going to visit is going to put me at officially 30 countries traveled to, which is absolutely amazing. That was a goal of mine going into 2026. I wrote it down. I didn't know what the countries were going to be, and God just aligned it that I'm going to be out in the Balkan region. So I'm going to add Albania as a new country, Kosovo, North Macedonia, and Montenegro as new countries. So 4 new countries in one tour, which I'm very excited for. And it's a blessing. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be a complete blessing. And to go from being a kid from Washington Heights to traveling to 30 countries is absolutely insane to me. So I just wanted to update you guys on that. I didn't want to make this call about me, obviously, but I felt it was important that I also updated you guys on what's going on in my life and what's happening, because I know we just jump on these calls and sometimes it's just go straight into business. But I wanted to update you guys on my life, what's happening, what's next, and what's going on. Life is amazing right now. God is absolutely blessing me in ways I can't even describe to you guys. And I want to make sure that you guys are aware of that. And then last thing I want to say before we go into our next topic, obviously, is that today is officially the launch of my new podcast that I'm doing alongside my mentor, Matt Rosa, called SOS. SOS is a podcast called A Space of Solace. It's a growing man's podcast, and we are interviewing some of the top entrepreneurs, business owners, investors, creators in the world. And we are creating a safe place for these individuals to be vulnerable and talk about stories, talk about struggles that entrepreneurs go through that people don't mention. We wanted to be a little bit different with our podcast, right? We didn't just want to ask the average questions that people ask in podcasts. We wanted to get deep with people. We wanted people to understand. And as a matter of fact, one of the signature questions that you guys are going to realize that we ask in every single podcast episode is, what is one thing that you're struggling with in private that nobody knows about publicly? Think about that question. Think about you answering that question on a podcast. What is one thing that you are struggling with in private that you have not revealed yet in public? And we're asking all of our guests that question. And let me tell you guys, that question is bringing tears to people's eyes. That question is revealing a lot of struggles that a lot of people are going through that most people don't even mention. So today at 5 o'clock, we have a launch. I call it like a trailer. We're doing a watch party for those that want to watch the first episode together. It's only going to be open to 100 people. So if you want to be a part of that, go into my last Instagram post. I posted it this morning. Leave a comment, repost it, show us some love, because today is the official launch. And every Monday from this point moving forward, we will be releasing a new episode in the Space of Solace podcast alongside my mentor, Matt Rosa. So stay up to date on that. That's going to be absolutely amazing. So real quick, type an SOS in the chat box if you are excited for the new podcast, Space of Solace. There's going to be some new value for you guys to to take advantage of. And I cannot wait for you guys to see the special guests that we're going to be having on those amazing podcasts. All right. Now, enough about the updates. Let's get into today's training. Okay. I gave you guys a lot of updates, but I needed to give you guys all these updates, right? I just wanted to make sure that we were all in alignment and that everybody kind of knows where we're at, right? So today we're going to talk about a very powerful topic. All right. It's a very powerful topic. So please brace yourselves, get ready. If you want to send this call out to somebody else, let everybody know, yo, Nano, let everybody know, yo, Nano's officially starting, because this is going to be a big call. Today's call is titled, How to Break Free from Life's Most Dangerous Habit. And I'm sure you guys are wondering, well, Nano, what are you talking about? Right? I'm gonna repeat it again. Today's topic is titled, How to Break Free from Life's Most Dangerous Habit. And some of you guys are probably wondering, well, Nano, what is that habit? What is life's most dangerous habit? Because that's a pretty big title to give. Life's most dangerous habit. Some of you guys may be sitting here and wondering, well, Nano, what is it? Is it procrastination? Is it smoking? Is it sleeping in? Right? As a matter of fact, I want to see what you guys think is life's most dangerous habit. All right. What do you guys think it is? Type it in the chat box really quick. I kind of want to see, and there's no wrong answer. So I don't think that you got to get the right answer with this. Just give me an idea. I kind of want to see where you guys are at. What do you guys think is life's most dangerous habit? I see somebody say comfortability, inaction, being comfortable. My sister Mer's on this call, always a student. That's why I love my leaders, always being students. Scrolling, yes. Procrastination, the way you think, sleeping, complacency, being around the wrong people, never changing, sleeping in, not believing in yourself, drinking alcohol, a negative mind. Okay, these are phenomenal answers. These are really, really good answers. And here's the thing about these answers is that there's actually one word for all these answers. Here's the thing. Everything that you guys just said is right, but there's one word that describes this whole entire answer right here. And the word is this. You guys ready for this? Life's most dangerous habit is called drifting. Life's most dangerous habit is called drifting. In the book, there's a book that talks about this. Does anybody know the name of the book? For my readers, there's a book that introduced us to the topic and the concept of drifting. Does anybody know what the name of the book is? There you go, Claudia. The name of the book is called Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, the same author that wrote the book Think and Grow Rich. Now, in Outwitting the Devil, he talks about how majority of people in the world are not intentionally building their life, because the thing is, most people in life are drifting through it. Now, Nano, what is drifting? Right? Drifting is when someone has no clear purpose, they live reactively instead of intentionally, and they allow circumstances to control their direction. This is important. So when someone is drifting, they have no clear purpose, they live reactively instead of intentionally, and they allow circumstances to control their direction. And here's the scary part. Most people don't even know that they're drifting. Most people do not even know that they are drifting. So today, what I want to do is I want to break down the 4 truths about drifting, what it is, why it happens, and how to escape it. Because everything that you guys said, right? I'm looking at all your answers again. You guys said scrolling, inaction, sleeping, the way you think, procrastination, complacency, never changing, being around the wrong people. Those are all examples of what's called drifting. All right, because when you have no clear purpose, when you are living reactively instead of intentionally, what does that mean, living reactively? That means that you see the alcohol, you drink it. You see the weed, you smoke it. All right, you get invited out, you take it. You feel like sleeping in, you stay sleeping in. That's living reactively. You feel tired, so you don't work. You feel sore, so you decide not to go to the gym. You're not in the mood, so you decide not to build your business. You decide not to send out the DMs. That's living reactively, because you're going based off of your emotions, not based off of what you know you should do, which is living intentionally, right? And then when you allow circumstances to control your direction, which means You allow what's happening in the news. You allow the fact that you may not have all the money in the bank account yet. You allow the circumstances on the outside to determine the actions that you take. That's a drifter. So I'm going to break all of this down. All right. I'm going to break all this down for you. All right. So here are the 4 truths you need to know about drifting. Get ready for this. Number 1, drifting happens when you lose your definite purpose. Drifting happens when you lose your definite purpose. If someone lacks their chief aim, which means they don't know where they're going, they don't know what they're working towards, it's easy to start to drift. Because this is the easiest way for you to drift. If you have no idea what you're working towards, if you wake up every day and you're asking, what do I feel like doing today? Or what should I do today? I don't know what I'm going to do today. Then you're probably drifting right now. Because what ends up happening is if you don't have clear chief direction on where you're going, every day you're waking up and you're like, okay, what's next? What do I need to figure out? It's easy to get into a habit of, well, I'll just do a little bit of this. I'll do a little bit of that. I'll fall for this distraction. I'll fall for that distraction. There's no chief aim. There's no direction of where it is that you're going. Real leaders and people who are working towards their goal, they wake up and ask, what must I do today to move closer to my vision? So for example, I woke up today, the moment my alarm went off today, I was already thinking, what do I need to do today to move closer to my vision? Why? Because I wake up with purpose. I know exactly where I'm going. I know exactly what I'm working towards. I know exactly what I got to do for my businesses in order for me to continue to move forward with them. So every day I wake up excited. I wake up ready to work, and I know exactly what I got to do. I have a calendar that gives me access to all the actions I got to take today. I know who I got to help today. I know the things I got to do to help me with my business and all the different areas. I know everything I got to do already. Why? Because I have definite purpose. Now, that's not to say that my life has always been like this. I've been a drifter as well, where I would wake up and I didn't have a morning routine. I would wake up and I didn't really know what the next step in life was. I didn't know how I was going to make that extra 1,000 a month, the extra 2,000 a month. So I know what it's like to be on both ends. But when drifting happens, the main reason it happens is when you don't lack purpose. And I've seen so many people around me growing up that were drifters. Why? Because they didn't have no direction. They didn't have no purpose. And understand, purpose is what anchors direction. Without an anchor, your current life will take you wherever it wants. So here's the question I have for you if you're on this call. Do you have a clear vision for what you want in 2026? Do you have a clear vision for what you want in the next 3 years to 5 years? Because here's the thing, if you don't have a clear vision, the world will assign you one. All right? If you don't have clear vision, the world assigns you one. And whatever the world wants at the time, it's what it's going to give you. You got to have clear vision. Do I know what I want? And remember, these are all things that I've aligned for all of us on this call. If you guys don't know this, but I've done many calls this year on vision, on how to set goals. Hey, what are your goals personally, spiritually, financially, business, etc., right? I have all my goals written down for every area of my life. I know exactly what I want. I just told you guys to start this call. One of my goals for this year was to reach 30 countries traveled. Small goal, but it was a goal. In March, I'm at the end of March, by the end of this month, that's going to be a goal that I get a chance to check off. Okay, boom. I wrote that down back in December. Now look, it's happening. One of my goals was to get the inner circle to 100 members. Today we're at 111 members. That's another goal checked off, right? One of my goals was to not hire, but start coaching 5 new coaching clients in the first 90 days. New coaching clients. I have 5 new coaching clients, right? One of my goals was to sell out the Costa Rica retreat, right? The Costa Rica retreat is sold out with like one spot that we're waiting for to fill in to share, but basically it's already sold out. Every room is taken, right? Every goal that I set for the first 90 days, for the most part, I would say majority of them have been hit. Now, is there things that I could have done better? Is my discipline could have been a little bit more better? Obviously, yes, but a lot of what I wrote down is completed. Why? Because I'm clear on what I want. I'm clear on exactly what I want for my life, for my business, for my fitness, for my relationship with God, with every area of my life. And if you're on this call, don't let this call make you feel bad. That's not what this call is for. Let this call be an awareness call. Okay, Neno's right. I need to get clear on what I want. If you're on this call right now and you're not clear, this has to be a call that says, hey, Neno, get clear. I need to get clear on what I want, because the same way that Neno is hitting all his goals, all his targets, I want to be doing the exact same thing. The only reason I'm doing these things is because, like I said, I have definite purpose. My purpose is definite. So when I wake up every day, I'm not asking, hey, what do I need to do today? No, my question is, what do I need to do today to move closer to my vision? Because I know I have a vision. And one of the main things that causes people to drift is not having a vision. Because I think of people that I know personally that don't have vision. And guess what they do? They wake up every day and they do the same thing over and over and over again. They wake up, they get ready for work, they go to work, they come back from work, they chill, they eat something, they watch some Netflix, hang out with their significant other, go to sleep, wake up, and do it again and again, 5 days a week. On the weekend, they chill, they go out to dinner, they have something to eat, whatever it is. And then a week passes, 2 weeks pass, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month passes, 90 days passes, and it's the same routine over and over and over again. I know people like that. I love them to death, though. Love them to death. But they don't have no definite purpose. They're just doing enough to get by. And when you're just doing enough to get by, there's no purpose there. There's nothing being worked towards, right? There's no goal, there's no aim, right? That's why I respect people that work jobs and build businesses on the side. I respect a lot of people that do that, because that's not easy. To go home after working 8 hours a day and force yourself to sit down for an extra hour, 2 hours, 3 hours sometimes, and build the business part-time. That's not easy. But I respect it. You know why? Because the person that is working full-time and building a business part-time is making the necessary sacrifices to be able to one day build their business full-time and not ever have to work for someone else full-time. And I respect that, right? Now, by a show of twos, who on this call is working full-time on a job but working part-time on their business or their fortune? Give me a 2 in the chat. I kind of want to see who on this call is working full-time at a job but building their business on the side part-time. I want to see, give me some 2s on the chat if that's you. I want to see who my part-time business owners are really quick. Wow, we got a lot. We got a lot. My brother Devin, Jer, over here. We got a couple. Raphael, Miss Love, D, Nana, Altagracia, Paul, Eugene, Ricardo, John, Bam Bam, Adonis, Chelly, Fernando, Chris Bella, Jesse, a lot of us. Kyrie, a lot of us. I respect that. Alan, I respect you, bro. Keep going. Keep doing that. That's what's going to help you, because If you just, for example, if you just fell into just working your job and it was just that, it would, I wouldn't say you're full of lacking purpose, right? Because sometimes your job could be your purpose. But if you're working a job that is not really your purpose, and you know deep down that this is just a job to pay the bills, and you're only working your job, then right now you're only working on something that is not going to fulfill you. The people that are working their jobs, even though they don't like them, and they're pursuing it and they're getting that money, and then they're investing that money into their business or that part-time passion that they believe in and that purpose, those are the people that I want to make sure that I recognize, because you guys are the ones that are working every day to get out of that, right? You're working to get out of that. That is commendable. Find that and stay with that, because that's what's going to truly fulfill you. That's what's going to help you go out there and put in work into something that you know a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now is going to allow you to stop working this full-time job that you're grateful for, but it's not really allowing you to fulfill the purpose that you truly want. And believe it or not, jobs cause people to drift. And that's the truth. And look, I don't want to make this call about talking down on jobs, because that's not what this call is about at all. But the reality of it is jobs cause people to drift. You know why? Because you're surrounded with drifters. And when you're surrounded with drifters, remember, the people you spend the most time with is the people you start to become. And it's not because you want to be like them. It's just because of an energy thing. Everybody around you is drifting. Everybody around you lack purpose. It's like the saying says, if you hang around 4 people that lack purpose, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to become one of them. If you hang around 5 people that are drinking and smoking, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to end up drinking and smoking. So it's the same thing with life in general. If you are around people who are drifting, that lack purpose, that are reactive, that aren't living up to their full standards, and there's a pretty good chance you're going to start doing the same. So the first truth about drifting is that it happens when you lack and you lose your definite purpose. Get your purpose straight, and this is key. Truth number 2 about drifting. Listen to this one. Drifting is caused by a lack of self-discipline. So obviously, number 1, if you lack purpose, if you lack direction, it's going to happen. But let's say you have purpose. Let's say you do have direction. The next thing that can cause you to drift is lack of self-discipline. You see, Napoleon Hill said, drifters are people who refuse to control their own minds. They lived based on moods, excuses, comfort, and convenience. Drifters say things like, I'll start tomorrow, I'm not feeling it today, I'll get serious later. But successful people understand something very powerful, and it's this. Self-discipline is the bridge between vision and reality. I'm going to repeat that again. Self-discipline is the bridge that gets your vision to reality. So that self-discipline that we talk about, it has to show up when the motivation disappears. Discipline says, wake up early. Discipline says, do the work. Discipline says, stay focused. Discipline says, keep going when nobody is watching. So if you are not disciplined with the things that you said you were going to do, you start to drift. Think about it. I know that from experience, because I've drifted this year. I've had moments where I drifted. I had moments where I slept in. I had moments where I chose not to go to the gym. I had moments this year where I chose not to do my morning routine. As crazy as that may sound, there was moments this year, I wouldn't say a lot of moments, but there were moments this year where I drifted, where I allowed my emotions to get the best of me. I made up excuses for my lack of effort. I chose convenience over getting uncomfortable. I've had that happen to me this year. That is drifting right there. because somebody that is committed to their goals and someone who is working hard every single day and they have vision and they have self-discipline, they don't do those things. So I just want you to know that you guys are not alone on these calls. Trust me, I sometimes drift myself. I work on this daily. This is something we got to work on daily. Now, the good thing about me is I'm aware of it and I make the shift and I get out of it fast. That's the thing with drifting. Everybody drifts. It's who can catch it and who can get back into that motion all over again as fast as possible. That's the game. So it's everybody's going to drift. I'm sure we've all drifted this year at some point in time, but it's about when you drift, can you become aware of it and can you shift back into that self-discipline moment that keeps you in the game? That's the game. Because here's the thing about drifting. You drift one day, it leads to 2, it leads to 3. Next thing you know, you've been drifting for a week turns into 2, 2 turns into a month. A month could turn into a whole quarter, and a whole quarter can turn into a whole 6 or 12 months. I've seen it happen because it's happened to me. I want you guys to all understand this. If you're on this call, let me tell you, if you've been lacking discipline this year, all right, you are drifting this year. If you've been working hard, you've been showing up, you've been doing your routines, you've been reading your Bible, you've been reading your books, you've been going to the gym, stay in that. Stay in that. Don't allow yourself to drift, because the moment you stay in, you drifted. The moment you decide not to do the work because you're tired, you're drifting. The moment you allow yourself to fall for the distractions, you drifted. You don't want to be the person that is drifting in your best year ever. Remember, guys, at the beginning of the year, we said 2026 is the best year of our lives. It won't be the best year of our lives if we're caught majority of the years drifting. So self-discipline is the bridge between vision and reality. The only way I've been able to turn a lot of my visions into reality, like I said, it's not because I'm the most talented. It's not because I'm a better speaker. It's not because of anything that you may think about. The only reason I give all the glory to God. The only reason I've been able to turn a lot of my visions into reality is all because of my self-discipline. It's because I wake up at the time I say I'm going to wake up. I go to the gym. I do my morning routine. I work on me. And I do the work daily. I follow a calendar. And if I got to work 10-hour days, 12-hour days, I make it work. I do the work. I get uncomfortable. I do what's required from me as a person, as a leader, as a founder, as a mentor, as a coach. I do what's required, even when I'm tired, even when I don't feel like going. That's the name of the game. Self-discipline is going to be something that is going to be required in order for you to break drifting. Because here's the thing about drifting. When you start to drift, if you're not paying attention, that drift can turn into weeks of drifting. And I know some of us can relate on this call because I know some of us may have had some drifting. Real quick in the chat, let's all be honest real quick. Has anybody had some drifting this year? Give me a 1 in the chat if you've experienced drifting this year, where you chose to live based off of your moods, your excuses got in the way, you chose to stay comfortable, you chose convenience. It's part of it. It's part of it. Drifting is part of it. And I want you all to know that you're not alone in this. Like, look, guys, you guys are not alone in this journey. I promise you. Like, you're not alone in the drift. We all drift. I drift. But like I said, it's can you catch yourself in the drift and break the cycle? Because remember, the thing is, the old version of you is used to it. Remember, the old us is the drifter. It's the old version of us that's coming back in like, yo, Q, come on, bro, let's drift a little bit. Susan, let's drift a little bit. April, Shonda, Laura, La Tierra, Katia. It's the old version of you that's coming in and saying, yo, come on, let's drift a little bit. Chris, come on, let's remember, we used to love convenience. We love being comfortable. This excuse sounds good. This is a good excuse as to why you shouldn't go. This is a good excuse as to why you shouldn't show up. And it plays games with us. That's the messed up part. It plays games with us. And it gets us to believe that, yo, this is a good excuse. Or, yo, you know what? I know you don't feel like going this morning. It's okay if you take one day off. It's okay if you take, it's been a week that you haven't read the book. It's okay. And it plays games with you. You know why? Because I hear the same voices. I hear them too. That's the thing. I hear them. I hear the excuses. I hear them. Oh, don't worry. Just start next week. Start next week. You could get serious later. You could catch up with all of that later. Yo, you're not feeling it today. Just stay in bed. Bro, nobody sees you. All of that. All of that is those silent voices destroys us. Destroys us. Oh, nah, you don't need a morning routine, bro. Don't listen to Neno. Neno doesn't know what he's talking about. You don't need that. That's not for you. Follow your own thing. And next thing you know, it's like, no, you're not a good reader. Don't listen to that stuff. I've been there before. That's the thing. So I know that emotions. I know those voices. I know those thoughts. They destroy you. I can tell you guys, because from experience, the best thing you could do is stay disciplined with yourself. Out of all the things I've ever done, I've heard every voice. I've made every excuse. I've chosen comfort. I know the moods, all of that stuff. The best thing to do is to make sure that you stay disciplined on the things that you said you were going to do. That's the best killer for it all. Just keep doing it until that voice gets so silent that you can't even hear it. Because it's always going to be there. And the thing is, it's going to win sometimes, especially when you're wanting to change. The thing is, here's what a lot of us don't understand about the journey we embarked on. We all embarked on a journey to change, to become better, to grow, to elevate our mindsets, to grow our relationship with God, to do more for ourselves and the people around us. So when we embarked on this journey, yes, this journey is going to be difficult, but it's only difficult because of all the challenges that we're going to have to deal with on the way there. All the old voices, all the old habits, everything around us that's going to cause us to be like, hey, stay in bed. Don't do that. And then here's the thing about this. And here's the thing. I want to keep you guys prepared. What ends up happening is because you've slacked off so much and you've drifted so much this year, it starts to become heavy weight. It starts to get heavy on you. Like, damn, bro, I haven't read the book. I haven't done this. I haven't gone to the gym enough. And it starts to become this weight that starts to add up on you. And it starts to add. And then you start to feel extremely guilty and ashamed. And now you really don't want to do the work. And then you really don't want to, because you feel like you let people down. You left yourself down. And now it's 3 months into the new year. Damn, Nano, I just threw away my first 3 months. And then you start to feel this energy and this stress. And you get caught up in it. I'm telling you right now, don't get caught up in that energy. Because I know out of the hundreds of people on this call, there might be some people on this call that are feeling that right now, what I just explained. Don't get caught up in that energy. You can make a shift like this. You can make a shift like this, but you have to decide though. You have to decide, yo, I'm not going to allow this anymore. I've been doing it. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I'm gonna get back in my routine. I'm gonna get back into my spiritual path. And if, like I said, if you're already doing amazing, keep doing amazing. Be the one that pushes people. Yo, come on, Be that example. That's important. So drifting is caused by lack of self-discipline. If you lack self-discipline, you're going to lack self-discipline in other areas, which is going to allow you to pick up on those habits in other areas as well. So that's number two. Number three, drifting happens when people allow fear to control their decisions. And fear is a big cause of drifting. Fear is a huge cause of drifting, because another point that Napoleon Hill made is that drifters are controlled by fear, right? Fear of criticism, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of uncertainty, lack of clarity. And what happens is, instead of pursuing your dreams, your goals, and your aspiration, people choose safety, right? And they choose to stay in comfortable jobs, familiar environments, predictable routines. But the truth is this: everything meaningful in life requires courage. Nano, what's courage? Courage is the willingness to do the things that bring you fear. You cannot build a powerful life if you allow fear to make the decisions for you. Remember this: the two F's. Faith builds, fear drifts. Faith builds, fear drifts. Keep that in mind. Faith builds, fear drifts. Don't be the person that allow fear of failure, fear of what this person is going to say, fear of criticism, fear of rejection to stop you from building your dreams. Fear is a big one, a very, very big one that causes people to drift. I've been there. I remember when I had fear of what others were going to say about me. I remember when I had fear of what if I fail? I remember the fear of rejection. What if they say no? I remember the fear of uncertainty. Well, I don't know what the next step in life is. But I had to remember that if I allow fear to get the best of me, then if I have fear, then that means I'm going to drift. Fear drifts because I'm not taking the actions necessary towards my goals. That fear of criticism is not allowing me to make that post or post that reel or talk about my business. There's a lot of things. So guess what I do? Instead of posting my business, instead of talking about my business, I just get caught up scrolling and I never do anything. That's drifting. That fear of failure doesn't allow me to take that risk, doesn't allow me to make that investment. So because I never take that risk, I never make that investment, then I just get caught up drifting. And instead, I spend my money on unnecessary things, invaluable things that don't bring me any value. That fear of rejection. Oh, they're probably going to say no. Oh, this person's probably not going to want to join my business. Because you don't even take the chance to never ask, because you never actually knock on the door, then no door is ever open for you. That person never joins your business. That person never becomes a client. And because of that fear of uncertainty, because you don't know what the next step is, it just shows that you don't have no faith in God's plan. So because you have no faith in God's plan, God can't help somebody that doesn't believe. So you wonder, well, why God isn't helping me? Because you don't believe. How can God help somebody that doesn't believe, that doesn't have faith? You don't believe in the unseen yet. So instead, people choose to do what? They choose to stay in familiar environments where it's comfortable. You know what? Fine, I'll stay here. I'll keep following this routine. I'll keep hanging out with the same people. You got to be willing to take the risk, guys. In 2026, you got to be willing to take the risk. That's the key. And if you don't get rid of that fear, you'll always be stuck in that fear. Take the risk. Follow the routine. Get uncomfortable. Do things you've never done. Make that phone call. Wake up earlier. Pick up that Bible. Build that relationship. Take that trip. Make that investment. Do the things that are going to allow you to get real with yourself. This is so important. Because when you do that, everything changes. You wake up early. You do what you're supposed to do. You'll feel on top of the world. You take the risk, you'll feel on top of the world. You post that picture, you post that reel, you talk about your business, you're going to feel good. You know why? Because you're not allowing fear to control your decisions. You are controlling your decisions based on faith. One of the biggest things that we've been doing within the inner circle is building our relationship with God. The book that I recommended at the beginning of the year for our book club was a book that's going to help people find their purpose, as a matter of fact. Help them find their purpose, help them build a closer relationship with their creator. And I did that intentionally. Why? Because I wanted people to build the foundation of their year within the inner circle with the Lord at the center of it. I don't know if you guys realize that, but think about it, guys. For my people in the inner circle, think about the book that I recommended you guys to read at the beginning of the year. Think about what we've been talking about on this call. Drifting happens when you lose your definite purpose. What does that book teach you? To find your purpose. Think about it, right? Now let's think about number 2. Drifting is caused by a lack of self-discipline, right? What does that book teaches us? Self-discipline. Read a day every single day, right? 40 days straight. You see how that works? Everything is intentional, right? Another thing I said, drifting happens when you allow fear to control your decisions. That book teaches everything about what? Having faith and belief and trust. And then the last one, number 4, so we can wrap it up here, says this: the only way to escape drifting is to take control of your mind. The only way to escape drifting is to take control of your mind. That's the only way. Because remember this, in the book, Napoleon Hill made it very clear. He says the only way to escape drifting is to gain complete control over your own mind. That means being intentional about what you think about, what you consume, who you listen to, and what you focus on daily. The reason why I'm so big on waking up and following a personal development routine is because this is what allowed me to stop my drifting. I was one of the biggest drifters that I personally know. I was a big drifter. The only thing that allowed me to stop my drifting fully was the power of a personal development routine. Doesn't matter what time you do it. I did mine in the morning because that's what allowed me. I know some people that do it in the afternoon. I know some people that do it at night. The only thing that stopped me from drifting was my personal development routine. Because every morning, what I was doing, it wasn't about the routine. It was about taking control of my mind. Waking up, reading the Bible, praying first. You know what I'm doing right away? Installing into my mind the word of the Lord within the first 5 minutes of waking up. Then I'm reading good books. I'm listening to good podcasts and good audios. I'm visualizing my dreams and goals. I'm in the gym, pushing myself, pushing my body. I'm in the sauna. I'm feeding my body the right nutrients and the right vitamins so that my body can operate and my mind can operate at the highest levels. I'm meditating. I'm calming my mind down. I'm allowing God to speak to me through meditation. I'm journaling my goals, my dreams, my visions. You know what that's allowing me to do? Take control of my own mind. Because now think about it. Throughout the day, I have control of my mind. I spent all morning controlling my mind. I fed my mind good books. I made sure that I read the word in the morning. I pushed my body. I wrote it down. I got it clear, the vision. My brother Jarrell was goody. All these things. So now throughout the day, guess what? My visions are in my mind. My goals are on my mind. What I read is on my mind. The Bible study, the prayer, the word of God is on my mind. The audio book I listen to is on my mind. Everything that I poured into myself in the AM is on my mind, which allows me to take control of it, not let it control me. Because it's not controlling me with my own negative thoughts, my own fears, my own insecurities, my own doubts, and my own worries. It's filled with the wisdom from the Lord, my prayers, my visions, my goals, the wisdom from the books, the knowledge that I've gained. Now I'm in control. I'm controlling it. My sister Corinne in the chat said, I had a fear of solo travel flying by myself, and I committed to Costa Rica because I couldn't let fear control my decisions anymore. I love that for you, Corinne. My sister Corinne was one of the individuals that locked in one of the final spots for Costa Rica retreat. And look, she had a fear. She had a fear of solo travel. And now she's flying out to Costa Rica for a retreat in a country that she's never been to meet a bunch of people that she's never met, to learn about incredible business, and to create an experience for herself that she's never, ever, ever had, which is probably a little bit nerve-wracking for anyone that has never done it. But guess what? On the other side of it, when she comes back from that retreat, she's going to be so thankful that she went. She's going to be like, oh my God, I had all these fears, all these doubts, all these fears. And look, it ended up turning out into an incredible experience. You know what that's going to do for her? It's going to make her realize that her doubts and her fears are all liars. And you know what that's going to do to her now? It's going to make her want to take more risk. It's going to make her face more fears. It's going to make her do more, because that's how it works. That's how it worked for me. It was me being in the exact same shoes as Corinne and knowing like, yo, I'm so scared to take this trip. I'm so scared to make this investment. But then you go and make it and you see what's on the other side. You never go back. Think about it. I once had the same fear when I was traveling to a new country and it was my first time. And look, I just told you guys at the beginning of this call, by the end of March, I'll be at 30 countries. So imagine that happened to me for maybe like my first, second, or third country. Now today, I've done 30 countries. I've done 30 countries now with the same fear and the same doubt that Corinne had. But then I realized, yo, these fears are liars. They're literally liars. So the only way to program your mind is you got to have clear goals. You got to do personal development. You got to have intentional thinking. You got to wake up early. You got to study. You got to train your mind every morning. You got to train your mind every morning. So I respect everybody that jumps on these calls. I respect all of you guys. Jesse, I respect all of you that jump on this call. Because believe it or not, even if you slack off a little bit, the fact is you jump on this call to train your mind. Right now, I am training your mind. But remember, it's not just about the things that you do on these calls. It's the things that you do once this call is over. Are you doing the work outside of these calls? That's my question for you. Are you doing the work outside of these calls? Are you waking up? Are you doing what's required? That's the game. If you can do that, everything else will end up working out for you. I promise you that. Don't allow yourself to be the individual that doesn't do the work. You got to do the work. The work is required. Don't be a drifter this year. I wanted to do this call, not just for myself, because I needed to listen to the call. I wanted to do this call for the people that feel like they're falling off and drifting, and for the people that are doing great, don't fall into the drift. Recognize what doesn't get you to drift. As long as you have clear direction and you have purpose, you won't drift. As long as you're disciplined, you won't drift. As long as you don't allow fear to get the best of you, you won't drift. Just remember those things. These are the things that cause you to drift. Lack of purpose, lack of self-discipline, and fear. Those are the three biggest things that will cause you to drift. So right now, if you're on your run and you're grinding and this year is your year, remember, Neno said, lack of purpose, lack of self-discipline, and fear is what's going to get me to drift. I'm basically giving you the road bumps that you will face ahead if you allow any of those things to let you fall into your way. Take control of the mind. If you take control of the mind, imagine a whole year. I just want you guys to think about this. You wanna know when you're gonna have the best year of your life? When you can sit down for a whole year and you can have definite purpose. Your self-discipline is at a 10 out of 10. Fear does not exist because you have nothing but faith, and your relationship with God is so strong. And then you have full control of your mind. Imagine if you could get to the point where you have all four of those things completely locked in. You have purpose, self-discipline, no fear, only faith, and you have full control of your mind, and you're working towards it every single day. That is going to be when you have absolutely the most amazing time of your life. And that in reality should be what we should all be working towards right now. Every single one of us on this call should be working towards clear direction, high self-discipline, no fear, only faith, and full control of our minds. We do this right here, the rest of the year is going to be absolutely amazing. So if you're on this call, like I said, if this call was a wake-up call, let me get back in place, great. If this call was yo, Neno, I'm doing amazing. Thank you for making me aware of the obstacles that could be ahead of it for me. Just keep that in check. And every single one of us should be on this call and be grateful that we have access to this information. Now I know I need purpose. I need self-discipline. I need faith, not fear. I need control of my mind. I get these four things in place, I'm going to have a phenomenal year. And remember, guys, it's still early. Don't count yourself out because you've had a couple slip-ups or whatever it is. Get back into it. You could start up today. Today could be your day one. Day one is today for some of us, and that's fine. For some people, it's day number 45. For some people, it's day 66, 77. It could be whatever day. The important thing is that at least you get the ball rolling and you get your day started. And those are the four truths about drifting. Number one is that drifting happens when you lose definite purpose. Get your purpose in place. Drifting, number two, drifting is caused by lack of self-discipline. Number three says drifting happens when people allow fear to control their decisions. And then last but not least, number four, the only way to escape drifting is to take control of your mind. Take control of your mind. Let's work, let's elevate, and let's continue to grow. Everybody give me a 444 in the chat box if you guys got value from today's training. All right. Yeah, we're already halfway through March. It's crazy. My brother A-Town was good. 444s. that wraps up today's call. Just a quick update, real quick. Tomorrow, Inner Circle, we have a call. I don't fly out till Wednesday. So, I mean, we don't fly out till Tuesday night. So we're doing our call tomorrow. So Inner Circle, just a heads up, we're doing our call tomorrow. Wednesday, just a heads up, I will keep you guys updated if we'll be doing a call Wednesday. I'm not 100% sure because that is my travel day and I'll be moving around that day, etc. So I'll keep you guys updated. But I know Tuesday and Thursday of this week, we have a call for the Inner Circle. Most likely our next call for Mornings Veneno on YouTube will be on Friday. So just a heads up, I'll keep you guys updated so you guys are up to date on when the calls will be. Like I said, I'm going to be traveling over the next couple of weeks, so I will keep you guys updated on when calls are happening and not happening. But as long as I'm sitting down in front of a laptop and I'm somewhere stationary, there is a call that's going to be running. But with tour being so unpredictable, one day we're sitting down, another day we're driving around, we're going to the next city, whatever it is. I don't want to make any promises, but I will keep you guys updated on how everything is going to be going. I'm going to do my best to sit down and make sure that every call is being accounted for so that I'm in good location with good Wi-Fi as I'm on the road. So get ready to see me do Mornings Veneno in different countries. My goal is to do it in different countries while I'm in Albania, Montenegro, Macedonia, all these different countries. My goal is to be doing Mornings Veneno from all of these different places. It's going to be super cool. And I'm excited to show you guys a lot of it. I'm going to be recording everything while I'm on the road. Everything is going to be recorded on tour, which I'm excited for. I got all the equipment. I got all the mics. I have all the cameras. I have the Meta glasses. I have a good phone. Everything is going on the road with me, and I'm just very excited for it. All right, guys. So with that being said, that does wrap up today's call. Thank you guys so much for jumping on. I appreciate you guys. Apologies if I went a little bit over. It's never my intention, but I wanted to make sure I poured into you guys and kind of updated you guys on a lot of things. I got a lot of work to do today, so thank you guys so much. Quick little prayer, and then we'll wrap it up right there. So just a quick prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we want to thank you so much for allowing us to wake up on this beautiful Monday morning. We all feel so blessed and so grateful to be on this journey with you. And thank you for the lessons teaching us about the idea of drifting. And now knowing more than anything, God, we know we need to have purpose. We know that our discipline needs to be at an all-time high. We know that we must prioritize faith over fear, and that we must take control of our minds in order for us to become the versions of ourselves that you have called us to be, God. So thank you for this wisdom. Thank you for your knowledge. Thank you for holding our hands through this process. Thank you for always being there for us through the good and through the character building days. Thank you for the challenges that you've put in our lives that are allowing us to become aware of our weaknesses and of the areas we need to be paying more attention to. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know that this week is going to be filled with so many breakthroughs. We ask that you give us the strength, the discernment, and all the wisdom that we need to continue to serve you at the highest level, God. Thank you for everything that you're doing. And if there's anybody on this call that needs an extra hand of healing, an extra hand to push and strength, I pray that you put that hand over them and you guide them and you give them that little extra push that they need so we can go out there and continue to fulfill the purpose that we have. So we love you, God. We appreciate you. Everything that we do is to build the kingdom, to praise you and to honor you, my Lord. We love you and we appreciate you. In God's name we pray. Amen. 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 God is the greatest. We're in the right place at the right time with the right people. I hope that everybody has a beautiful rest of your days. Inner Circle, I will see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. And then for everybody else, stay up to date for our following call, which will probably be either Friday or potentially a Wednesday call for Mornings Veneno. So God bless everybody. I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and I will see you guys on the next call. Enjoy. Thank you, family.